I was employed by the BBC within a year of leaving prison. It was a chance opportunity. I met the then editor of the Radio 4 Today programme, the most prestigious radio programme in this country. And the converse that me and this editor had inspired him and inspired me. And he offered me a job there and then on the spot. No application, no interview. It was just a chance meeting at the BBC in West London. He liked me, he liked the way I spoke, he saw something in me, and that was key. He saw something in me that he could exploit or make use of. And so he offered me a job. And I joined the Radio 4 Today programme, having not used a computer or the internet, never had any real experience as a journalist. And I went off reporting. And I remember him sort of asking me to sit at this desk, which was the planning desk, and it was the desk where you call politicians or people of influence and ask them to come on this very important programme. And I sat there for 3 days, couldn't do it. Got up, walked into his office and said, "Rod, I really appreciate the opportunity you're giving me, but this isn't for me. I sat in a cell for 12 years and picking up a phone and phoning people just isn't for me." And he said, "Why don't you try your hand as a reporter?" And from that moment I walked out of his office, I sat at the reporter's desk, and I'm sitting alongside guys who have spent their whole lives, their whole careers through university, through training, to be where I was within a year of coming out of prison for a crime I didn't commit. And I never looked back. And one of my first assignments was to go to Afghanistan and to report on the heroin trade. So here I am, going to Afghanistan, a hostile environment, a place where they just had a war, and I'm reporting on the heroin trade. And I took the initiative to take a small video camera with me, and I filmed that journey. And as a result of filming that journey, the BBC 6 o'clock news asked for that footage because it was exclusive. Here was a guy that wasn't normal in BBC terms. I had dreadlocks, I spoke with a South London accent, and I still had my prison slang. I've changed a lot in the years since. So I was on the 6 o'clock news. That was my first flurry into television. I was a special reporter for the 6 o'clock news on BBC One, having never been or had any experience as a journalist before. I then went on to join BBC Three. BBC Three was just being set up as the new kind of BBC young flagship television programme. And the first thing I did was a series called Blood Diamonds, where I went off to Sierra Leone, bought and smuggled conflict diamonds from Sierra Leone into the UK to expose the trade in illicit diamonds.